I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio. I grew up in a house with a mother, a grandmother, and three sisters. So I didn't have a relationship with my father. Around my freshman year in high school, I found my father and we kind of rekindled a relationship. So we got back close. I never asked him the tough questions as to, why he left or why he wasn't a part of our life, because I didn't want to mess up the fact that he was back in my life. So shortly after that, I went to college. In high school, after high school, I went to college down at Tuskegee University. Was really angry and confused about a lot of things in life, so really trying to find myself throughout college. In 2002, my friends and I, we decided to pledge a fraternity. This was in the spring, so we went through the whole fraternity rigmarole all spring, found out that I didn't have the grades to cross that spring, so the entire line decided to hold off and wait over the summer, come back in the fall and do it all over again just for me, which was a big thing. I mean, it was a really big deal. Over the course of that summer, I went off to Birmingham to a leadership program that we were having at my college, and I gave my life to Christ. So needless to say, when I came back in the fall, things were very, very different than when I left in the spring. So I came back to the fall with a lot of confusion as to how to relate to my friends, how to relate to the line that I was, the fraternity that I was trying to cross, how to relate to the girls that I was messing around with before, just really kind of confused as to where it is I should be. So I jumped right back into the routine of pledging. Shortly into the semester in 2002, my father committed suicide. That was a really, really hard time for me because one, I never got a chance to ask him the questions that I always wished I would, which is just why, what were you thinking? Was it me? What was the situation? So I never got answers or closures to any of that stuff. On top of that, trying to figure out where God wanted me to be. I had just given my life to Christ. I'm a new Christian. I'm hungry. And then all of this happens. And I was just really confused at the time. So it was a lot of dark nights, a lot of long nights. And I feel like it was one of those times in every one of our lives that's like it's a crossroads where we can really go one way or the other. And God gives us a free option to do that as to whether we're going to him or whether we're going somewhere else. So I wound up quitting the fraternity. I wound up turning everything towards God and just really just trying to figure out, God, well, what do you want for my life? This happened. And I can look back on that time right now and feel true growth and true a connection with God that I rarely ever feel now. And it was one of those times where I feel like God just really sustained me at a time where I really needed it. I started spending time in the Word and God just poured into me. I mean, everything that I read made sense. Everything that I, wrote down made sense. I was doing spoken word and gospel rap at the time, and I was just writing all these songs, and they were just kind of flowing out of me, and it was a connection with God at the time like none other. Today, I own a couple businesses, but God called me to preach back in 2009. And if I look back on my life, I look back on that time, and that's clearly the time that God established himself within me. And God said, well, because you chose this path, this is what I'm going to do in your life. I'm just really happy with the fact that when I needed God that much, when I didn't have anywhere else to turn away from home, down at Tuskegee University, that God saw fit to just hold on to me and protect me.